the education systems course, which some of you might already be familiar with, is an open access cross-university curriculum. It's for graduate level students and education professionals who are interested in education policy, planning, and reform to deliver learning for all. So as with the other tools that we've shown on the RISE website, I've been putting links in the chat. When you go on the website and you go under tools, you can access all the different kind of tools, and the education systems course can be accessed right here. A quick overview of what the course is. So the course explores how education systems in low and middle income countries can better deliver learning for all. It responds to interest in the study of education systems as an emerging subdiscipline within international development. It's been developed by faculty at 4 partner universities on 4 continents, and it features pre-recorded lectures from leading academics and practitioners from around the world. More on this as I go through the presentation. The syllabus and the lectures and all resources under the course really are open access. They're available to incorporate in whole or in part into either graduate level academic courses or policy oriented training programs or anything else that IIP is interested in. So as we go through this, maybe keep in mind any areas that are particularly interesting to you and feel free to use the resources that I talk about. Okay. So the course is developed by partners across 4 continents, facilitated by RISE. It was developed by faculty at UCL in the UK. So UCL's Institute of Education, led by Kane Rolston. In Pakistan, the Lums University School of Education, led by Faisal Bari and Rabia Malik. In Ghana, the University of Cape Coast Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, led by Michael Boache-Yedon. And then in Canada, obviously, University of Toronto's Monk School of Global Affairs and Public Policy, led by Karen Lundy. Last year, the course was piloted for the first time in the spring term of 2022 at UCL Lums and University of Cape Coast. It was offered in a blended format. It offered students unique opportunities for cross-university collaboration, which was something that we received a lot of positive feedback on. And as we speak, the second iteration of the course is currently being offered at UCL Lums and UCC. So the course has a lot of resources, and the resources that have been developed in the course include pre-recorded lectures, reading lists, supplementary resources, and all of these are self-contained. They're contained in a self-contained syllabus. They're on a website, on a YouTube page, and Canvas. So the website here will take you to the RISE website, which kind of talks all about the course and links to all the relevant materials you need to be able to offer the course. The YouTube is where we host all of our pre-recorded lectures, which again, you're welcome to use as and how it fits best. And then we have a Canvas as well that we've been using that the faculty kind of use to help guide students through the course. The Canvas is something that is a little bit less permanent, so we'd recommend using the first 2 links. The course delivery itself is facilitated by faculty lecturers who offer synchronous cross-university seminars and unique opportunities for collaboration and mentorship between universities as well. So each time a course is offered in an academic setting, we offer around 4 webinars where students from different universities come together, they work on group projects together, they're able to talk to each other and collaborate with each other and also learn from faculty at different spaces. And then in terms of how these can be used, so syllabus and video lectures are open access under this license, and we welcome the use of these as and how you see fit. So the contents of the course. The course is comprised of 10 units that firstly explore how we conceptualize education systems and the tools that are available to analyze them. And then secondly, focus on the key parts of the system, the coherence of each part with the wider system, and the challenges and opportunities for aligning each part toward the goal of student learning. So for example, as I go through the different units in the course, you'll see mention to a lot of the things that has been presented on earlier today. Each unit features pre-recorded lectures from between 1 to 3 invited speakers who are chosen for their global expertise and are global leaders on the topic and have suggested reading lists. So especially the fact that we have the leading academics providing these lectures is another big selling point of the education systems course. The units are modular. They can be used in any order. They can be used together or in part for particular trainings or learning purposes. They can be adapted and incorporated into other courses and trainings. The units under the course are currently 10, so conceptualizing education systems, the goals of education systems, politics of learning, international aid architecture, bureaucracies, teachers, assessment, instruction, education markets, and financing education. So since I have some time, I'm just going to go over each of the units very quickly and just provide a quick overview. And hopefully this will help your team as well see what's relevant and what is exciting for you. The first unit is on conceptualizing education systems. So the unit contrasts the systems approach with other approaches to education reform. It has 4 lectures from Lant Pritchett, who's a research director at the RISE program. And the lectures span why a system approaches, why we want a systems approach or what a system is. They talk about the 5x4 system of accountability that Michelle spoke about. They talk about coherence as a characteristic of systems, and then empirical examples of incoherence. The second unit is on the goals of education systems. So this talks about the learning crisis and learning trajectories. Michelle Kaufenberger, who is a part of this webinar, is the one who has created the lectures for this unit. So we have 3 lectures on the learning crisis, on learning trajectories, and what we learned from learning trajectories. The third unit is on the politics of learning. So the unit covers frameworks developed to understand the ways in which politics can impact education outcomes and the channels of impact. So with political economy studies from different countries. We have 3 lectures here with 5 lectures overall. So Ken Apollo from Georgetown talks about the politics of schooling versus learning. Brian Libby from Johns Hopkins and the University of Cape Town talks about the politics and governance of basic education. And then Naomi Hussain from the American University talks about the politics of education in developing countries. Just a side note as well. So when we share this presentation, you're welcome to go in and see any of these lectures. And the lectures generally, each of them are around 20 minutes. So they are bite-sized and a bit easier to digest. The fourth unit is on international aid architecture. This was a unit that was very dear to Karen and something that she had put together. And it reviews the historical rise of global actors in education and discusses different explanations for their behavior. So Karen has 2 lectures here on history and prospects and on whether the international aid architecture today is fit for purpose. The 5th unit is on bureaucracies. So you look at different kinds of bureaucracies. We have lectures from Dan Honig from UCL, who talks about mission and motivation in public bureaucracies and education systems reforms through X and Y lenses. And then we have Yamini Iyer from the Center for Policy Research talking about rewriting the grammar of the education system. So research that she did on how the state communicates and a book that she actually just released. Unit 6 is on teachers and examines the relationship between education systems and the teachers within those systems. We have 9 lectures here from 3 different lecturers. So we have Barbara Bruns from the Center for Global Development talking about the central issue of teacher qualities, how policymakers think about teacher quality, how we can recruit better teachers and groom them, how we can motivate them, and how we can manage the politics of teacher quality reform. Then we have Kwame Akiempong from the University of Sussex talking about challenges of teacher education in Africa. And then we have Cynthia Ravina from Semeru Research Institute in Indonesia talking about the politics of teacher recruitment and motivating teacher performance. Next, we have the 7th unit on assessment. And so in this unit, we have 5 lectures from Newman Burtat and Abhijit Singh. Newman talks about why assessments are important and a brief introduction to key issues, the purposes of assessment, and measuring learning at scale. And then Abhijit speaks about large-scale assessments, so how we can get useful data for policy and how we can design learning assessments for impact evaluations. The next unit, and again, just to reiterate, these units can be offered in any order. So the order here is just a proposed order, but you're welcome to use them in any unit, in any order. So the next unit is on instruction. This looks at the tools to measure coherence between various instructional components, such as the SEC, which Julius just presented on. So we have 3 lectures here. 2 of them are from Julius on the SEC itself. So on diagnosing incoherence and the system enablers for learning. And then the 3rd lecture is from Rukmini Banerjee from Pratham on teaching at the right level and helping to tackle system challenges and deliver results. The next unit that we have is on education markets. And so this looks at what education markets are and talks about different market failures that, if we leave them unaddressed, lead to lower learning levels in schools. We have 3 lectures from Jishnu Das from Georgetown University on the preliminaries of education markets, the education landscape, and understanding policy responses. Lastly, the newest unit that we just put together is on financing education. So the lectures of this are available and you're welcome to go through them. We have 4 lectures. So from Maria Rundfeldt-Serra from ActionAid International, we have an introduction to education financing. From David Archer from International Aid International, we have increasing the share, size, sensitivity, and scrutiny of education budget, which also, by the way, talks about outcomes from the TES Summit and what was discussed there. Then we have Keith Lewin from the University of Sussex talking about educational planning and escaping the low financing trap.